Hey everybody, it's me Edward Jones back with a new video. To wear the pants, wear a belt. Something I've noticed, it's like something I've noticed for the past couple of years, and it slipped past me this time. But somehow at some point I caught up with it, and I started asking this question: in casual dress or just day to day life, when did guys stop wearing belts? Um, it's funny. I can even talk about the guys who wear belts, but they sag their pants. So I wonder what's the whole point? What's the point? The whole purpose of a belt so it holds your pants up correctly. Yet there's but yet there's I've encountered people who don't wear they're wearing pants that are a bit too big for them, and so the pants sag or the pants shift every which way. Some people just don't wear belts. And I thought of just a few days ago. I thought of the line of the question who wears the pants? Who wears the pants in the family? And typically it was the man wore the pants in the family. And then I thought for a second, in order to wear the pants, you have to wear a belt because it holds everything together. I may be thinking too much into this, but I had this idea as we noticed that a lot of it seems like fatherhood has been fatherhood has been taken for granted, if not totally discarded. Today in our current culture, uh, it's mocked. Masculinity is mocked, pretty much, or seen as being brutish, seen as being uncivilized, uncouth. If that's if I have to have to use that word, um, seen as something that's undesirable. You know, that it's old fashioned. You know, but funny thing is, see to get it right. Yeah, this is also considered old fashioned to some people. As you see, I do wear a belt, and I don't intend on changing that. I'm gonna keep on wearing a belt because it's there for a reason. I look at the absence of belts as being part of as being part of this waning element of masculinity in our culture, where when guys aren't being men, or they're discouraged from being men, or being a man is not something that's in demand. Now that could be, women's taste has changed and is having an effect on how men conduct, how guys conduct themselves. But the expression "who wears the pants in the family," wearing the pants, it puts in perspective. It answers the question: who's in charge? Who makes the final call? Who is running the show? Who is putting the team on their back? Put the team on their back, though. Who's doing that? And the purpose behind when you wear pants, you wear a belt because a belt holds the pants. It holds the pants up. And what I think, and like I said, I may be thinking too much into this, but I'm just sharing my thoughts with you, the viewer. I believe the belt represents. And it's funny. I just thought of something. Another use that belts have had, in my past. But the belt represents structure. It represents order. It represents um, a benchmark. It represents the things that everything should be set upon. It represents what holds things together. When you got a bunch of guys walk around without belts and their pants are sagging, that remind me of little kids walking around, because generally speaking, little kids will do what they do what they want to do. I think part of the reason why a lot of us are in the mess that we're in, financial, social, political, is that you have a lot of males doing what they doing what feels good. It may not feel good all the time to wear a belt, but there's a certain type of it's a upkeep that goes with how can I describe it? You maintain something when you hold the belt holds things. It holds your pants up. It holds up what is, I guess, what represents some sort of authority. It represents some sort of who's in charge. Um, so much that even, like there are duty belts. There are battle belts. You've seen my battle belt, and others, and then I guess it represents another level of a certain type of authority that you're prepared, you're ready to go, you're ready to take care of the things that certain aspects of life will throw at you. I believe with a belt, you hold your pants up, you put off it. I believe you give off the image that, and it is not, and this is, I'm speaking in generalization here. You give off the image that you actually can take charge, that you're actually, or that you have a certain structure in your life that governs your day-to-day activities. That you're not just doing things willy-nilly. You're not just doing things, by which way the wind blows. You're not just doing things because it feels good. You're doing things because you're doing what needs to be done because it's the right thing to do. And wearing a belt can be discomforting. You know, I hope I haven't lost you in this, but you wear a belt because it's what holds everything. It holds everything in place. You know, like I said, it's an observation I made. Just noticing a lot of them. I live in a college. I live in a college town, and but just even when I've gone to other places, it doesn't seem like belts are really worn as much as I remember them to be worn. I remember my grandfather. He has belts and suspenders. Um, but then again, my grandfather was born in '37. Um, I remember my uncle. He wore a belt. And I'm going back to what I was saying before, but the belt, what else was used for? It was used for discipline. The belt was a disciplinary tool. Could that also have gone away? Um, with the lack of belt wearing, that this discipline isn't met out properly, or isn't met out at all. Um, and I'm not talking about beating your kids senseless. I mean just discipline. You set them straight. When corporal punishment is needed, you use a belt's use. Um, I don't know. And I started asking some of the guys around me, do you wear belts? And they say no. I've just some guys, and they say they wear belts for dress occasions, but for day to day, they don't wear one. I guess it's just how they can, how they look. You know, for me, I like to wear a belt because I need to be on the move. I have friends that I tell people that I don't sag my pants. For one thing, it looks stupid. It looks childish, and I don't sag my pants because I always have stuff in my pockets, as you see in my pocket dump video, and I walk like I have somewhere to be. So I'm not just standing around. So if I were to stand around all day with my pants sagging, it'll stay in place. But when I have to get ready to move, it'll fall off my ass. So I wear a belt to hold my pants up so I can get to A to B I guess, an expeditious manner is a term I can use. Um, but I also wear it because I believe in a certain type of structure is needed. I believe guys need to have men need to have structure in order to be men. You know, um, I've learned to wear a belt for. I've been wearing a belt for a long time, and I've had to, and I had this. I guess I had this structure I had to live by. Now, of course, I was growing up. You make mistakes, but you can get back to the structure that was there. It's always been there. You relied on it. So why get rid of it? Um, do young men have structure nowadays? Do young males have structure? Um, if they do, where do they get their structure from? Is it something that they should emulate, or something they you know, should push aside for something that's um, more honorable in nature? But what do you think? Do you think people not wearing belts has something to do with somewhat of a decline in masculinity, and a decline in standards? Um, do you think it's a kind of a sign of that, or just people just it's not fashionable nowadays? Please like to hear your thoughts. Like I said, these are some of the thoughts I have. I'd like to see what you have to say on this issue. Any comments? Please feel free to leave a comment in the comment section or make a video response. Gripes, complaints, send me a PM, or even good things. Send me a PM. I'd be happy to read them. And I'll be happy to address any concerns or questions of someone may have directed to me through this video. And if you're new to my channel, I hope you enjoy this video, and I hope you enjoy my previous ones and the ones that are down the road to come. But that's my video. To wear the pants, a belt's a must. I'm Edward Jones, and thanks for watching.